Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life when the voices around you go silent, but not because they're cheering. They go silent because they don't believe. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. They don't carry the fire that burns in your chest. And in that moment, you must decide, will I fold because they doubt me, or rise because I know who I am? Let me tell you something, greatness does not begin with applause. It begins in obscurity, in isolation, in the quiet corners where no one is watching and no one is clapping. Your destiny is not built on public approval. It is built on private discipline. What you do when no one believes in you becomes the foundation for everything that happens when they finally do. You've got to understand, people don't have to believe in you for your life to move forward. Their belief is not fuel. Their validation is not oxygen. You were created with everything already inside of you: strength, stamina, resilience, brilliance. But you discover those things only when your back is against the wall, when you have no fan club, when you walk alone. When people doubt you, let it sharpen you. Let their disbelief become the weight that builds your strength. Let their silence push you into a deeper grind than you've ever known. Because there is nothing more powerful than a determined soul who has been underestimated. There will be seasons when every door seems closed, every opportunity delayed, and every voice around you says, be realistic. But in those seasons, you must rise with a fire that says, I am not finished. I am not broken. I am not defeated. You must believe in the version of yourself that others cannot see. You may not have their support, but you have your purpose. You may not have their encouragement, but you have your vision. And sometimes God hides you on purpose, not because you're unqualified, but because you're being prepared. You are being shaped, stretched, equipped. Preparation happens in private. Promotion happens in public. Stop waiting for them to believe in you before you start. Start anyway. Grow anyway. Walk anyway. Do it scared. Do it tired. Do it misunderstood. Do it alone if you must. But do it because your destiny was never a conference call. It's an assignment given to you and you alone. The moment will come when the same people who doubted you will say, I always knew you could do it. Let them talk. Let history correct their vision. You're not living for their approval. You're living for your purpose. Lift your head, straighten your shoulders, silence the inner critic, turn rejection into fuel. Turn disbelief into momentum, and step boldly into the life that is waiting for you. Greatness rarely announces itself with trumpets or celebration. It does not step onto the stage with spotlights or applause. Instead, it begins quietly, humbly, hidden in the shadows where no one is clapping, no one is watching, and no one is calling your name. It begins in places most people overlook, places of silence, of struggle, of solitude. This is where the roots of destiny dig deep, anchoring themselves in the very soil of your unseen efforts. Obscurity is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the stage where the most meaningful parts of your character are shaped long before you ever step into the light. There is something sacred about being hidden. When no one knows your name, when no one celebrates your progress, when no one recognizes the weight of the battles you're fighting. These moments are not signs that you're failing. They are signals that you are being developed. Obscurity shields you while you learn, while you stumble, while you grow. It gives you the space to make mistakes without fear of exposure. It grants you the grace to evolve without the pressure of meeting anyone's expectations. It is in these hidden seasons that you begin to understand that greatness is not an event, it is a process. People often crave visibility. They want the applause. Without the discipline, the recognition, without the resilience, the platform without the preparation. But visibility without maturity is a burden that crushes more than it elevates. You cannot carry the weight of greatness until greatness has first been built within you. That building happens in the unseen hours, when you rise before dawn, when you stay up long after others have quit, when you work behind the scenes with a level of commitment no one else may ever witness. The world loves finished products, but heaven invests in raw material. And you right now, in your quiet season, in your season of feeling overlooked or underestimated, are being worked on. You are being refined, sharpened, stretched. Every challenge you're facing is chiseling away what cannot go with you into your next level. Every disappointment is shaping a deeper strength. Every closed door is pushing you toward a direction you would not have chosen on your own. Greatness begins in obscurity because obscurity removes distractions. I challenge you to love enough and care enough. When you don't have an audience to perform, you don't have to impress. You don't have to pretend. You are free to be authentic, raw, unfinished, and in progress. And it's in that authenticity, far away from public pressure, that you find out who you really are. You learn what drives you. You discover what matters. You identify your flaws, your patterns, your weaknesses. And instead of hiding them, you confront them. You heal. You improve. You grow. This is why you cannot despise the days when no one is cheering for you. They are not wasted. They are not meaningless. They are not evidence that your dreams are too big or your gifts too small. These hidden days are the classroom where your destiny is quietly, steadily being constructed. What you learn in obscurity becomes the foundation on which everything else will stand. If the foundation is shallow, the structure will collapse. But if the foundation is deep, built through discipline, patience, endurance, and humility, then nothing and no one will be able to shake what you've built. Some of the strongest people you will ever meet are those who were shaped in silence. They didn't rise because people believed in them. They rose because they believed enough in themselves to keep going. They didn't succeed because they had crowds behind them. They succeeded because they had a vision within them. Vision is often born in quiet places. When life pulls you away from noise, it is not doing it to isolate you. It is doing it to concentrate you, to sharpen you, to focus you, to prepare you for what is coming next. There is a certain depth that only solitude can produce. When you have no one else to lean on, you learn to lean on your purpose. When you have no external validation, you learn to validate yourself. When no one sees your effort, you learn to appreciate the value of consistency. You begin to realize that the reward of your work is not always applause, not always praise, not always recognition. Sometimes the reward is simply becoming stronger, wiser, more capable than you were yesterday. Obscurity won't last forever. Seasons change. Preparation leads to purpose. What is hidden will eventually be revealed. But when that day comes, when the spotlight finally finds you, when opportunities open, when people begin to notice what you've been building all this time, you will walk into that moment with a strength that didn't come from being seen, but from surviving the unseen. You will carry a wisdom that wasn't shaped by applause, but by perseverance. You will stand with a confidence that wasn't built by compliments, but by your commitment to keep going even when no one believed in you. Greatness does not rush. It does not panic. It does not demand immediate results. It understands the power of slow, steady, consistent growth. A seed does not become a tree overnight. It must be buried in darkness. It must endure pressure. It must push through soil long before it ever sees the sun. But once it breaks through, once it rises, it becomes something that can weather storms, cast shade, bear fruit, and stand tall through every season. You are in that planting season. You may feel buried, but you are actually being positioned. You may feel hidden, but you are being prepared. You may feel overlooked, but you are being equipped. Do not rush out of obscurity before your roots are deep enough to hold the weight of your calling. The quiet teach you. Let the solitude strengthen you. Let the unseen hours mold you. Because when your moment comes, and it will, everything you cultivated in the dark will shine in the light. Greatness begins in obscurity, but it does not end there. It grows, it evolves, it rises. And when it finally emerges, stands unshakable because it was built on the foundation of hidden strength. So embrace this season. Honor it. Lean into it. Because one day, the world will witness the greatness that was growing in you all along, long before they ever knew your name. There is a dangerous trap that many people fall into, a belief that their success, their purpose, or their destiny is dependent on the approval of others. They live as if the world's validation is their lifeline, as if their dreams cannot breathe unless someone else nods in agreement. Let me tell you something right now. Others' belief is not your oxygen. It is not what fuels your existence. It is not what sustains your vision. And it is not what gives life to your calling. You do not need anyone's permission to rise. You do not need anyone's applause to move forward. You do not need anyone's faith to fulfill what you were born to do. The world will doubt you. People will question you. Some will even try to stop you, either intentionally or unconsciously. They will tell you that your dreams are too big, that your timing is off, or that you're not ready. They may look at your resources and compare them to their expectations. They may look at your past mistakes and assume your future is limited. And in those moments, if you allow their disbelief to penetrate your spirit, you will suffocate. You will start to question your worth. You will begin to slow down, thinking that their inability to see your potential means something about your ability. Other people's belief is a luxury, not a requirement. You don't need it to take the next step. You don't need it to build your dreams. You don't need it to make history. What you need is the belief within yourself, the unwavering confidence that no matter how others respond, you were made for something greater. You need a vision so clear, so compelling, so alive inside of you that it cannot be dimmed by anyone else's skepticism. The moment you start depending on someone else's faith to breathe life into your calling, you give them power over your destiny. You hand over your future to someone who has never walked in your shoes, who has never carried your vision, who may never understand the fire burning inside you. When you do that, your dreams become fragile, vulnerable, and easily swayed. You begin to live according to the limits others impose, and your potential becomes trapped by the boundaries of someone else's imagination. You must understand that the people who doubt you are not enemies. They are simply spectators who do not yet see what you were created to do. And that is okay. They are not the source of your life force, your purpose, or your drive. You are. Your faith in yourself, your willingness to act, your refusal to be stopped. These are what give life to your mission. You do not need them to believe. You need yourself to believe. History is full of people who succeeded despite universal doubt. They did not wait for approval. They did not seek validation. They did not pause for permission. They acted because they understood one undeniable truth: others' disbelief cannot extinguish a fire that is burning within. And the fire that burns within you is stronger than any criticism, louder than any mockery, and more powerful than any doubt cast your way. When others fail to believe in you, it is not a reflection of your capacity. It is simply a reflection of their perspective, their fear, their limited vision. People often see what they are capable of, not what you are capable of. And that is why you must learn to walk boldly even in the absence of their faith. You must learn to build your dreams quietly, consistently, and relentlessly. You must learn to take steps every day that align with your purpose. Regardless of whether anyone else applauds, encourages, or even understands, this does not mean you disregard wisdom or refuse guidance. It means you do not rely on others' belief to move. You gather knowledge, seek counsel, and learn from mentors, but the ultimate responsibility lies with you. You are the one who must cultivate your courage, sharpen your skills, and embrace the discipline required to see your vision come alive. And if others do not believe, that is their story. Your story continues, powered by a faith that cannot be shaken by a fleeting opinion. Belief from others is temporary, conditional, and unpredictable. It comes and goes with moods, trends, and circumstances. The belief you cultivate in yourself is enduring, unwavering, and unshakable. When you learn to breathe the oxygen of your own faith, you are unstoppable. You can walk into rooms where no one supports you and still move forward. You can pursue opportunities that no one understands and still succeed. You can endure criticism, rejection, and doubt and still thrive because your source of life is internal, not external. Think about the people you admire, the ones whose names echo in history, whose impact is felt for generations, whose lives changed the course of nations. Did they succeed because everyone believed in them? No. They succeeded because they believed in themselves when no one else did. They persisted when the crowd laughed. They acted when the voices around them said it was impossible. They held on to a vision that was invisible to everyone else. And through their relentless faith in themselves, they made the invisible visible. This is what you must do. Cultivate a belief in yourself that no one can shake. Feed it every day. Protect it. Nurture it. Let it grow stronger than every doubt that comes your way. And when the voices of skepticism rise around you, smile and keep moving. Their disbelief is not a barrier. It is a test. Their doubt is not a judgment. It is an opportunity. Their inability to see your potential is a challenge for you to see it even more clearly. Remember, oxygen of your life is not dependent on someone else's validation. The air that fuels your dreams comes from within. The strength that carries you forward comes from within. The courage that propels you to rise comes from within. You are the author, the architect, warrior of your own destiny. And when you realize this, you can walk boldly into the world, unshaken by anyone's disbelief, unstoppable in your mission, unrelenting in your pursuit of greatness. So let the world doubt, let them question, let them look away, let them whisper and scoff and shake their heads. None of that matters. Your oxygen is inside you. Your belief is within you. And with that internal fire, you can move mountains, defy expectations, step into the life you were destined to live. Others' belief is optional. Your belief is essential. Hold on to it. Breathe it, live it. And nothing, no voice, no opinion, no circumstance will ever be able to stop you. There is a hidden gift in the doubt of others. It is a force that can either defeat you or define you. And here is the truth: doubt is inevitable. Some will question your vision, some will criticize your actions, and some will openly tell you that you cannot succeed. Their words may sting, their disbelief may cut. Their skepticism may feel like a mountain pressing against your chest, but doubt, when approached correctly, is not a weakness. It is a whetstone. It is the edge that sharpens your resolve, the friction that strengthens your focus, and the fire that forges your character. When others doubt you, do not shrink in fear. Do not cower in shame. Do not stop moving. Instead, look at it as a challenge, a divine opportunity disguised as opposition. Doubt is a mirror reflecting back to you not what you cannot do, but what you are capable of proving. Every time someone says, "You can't," they are handing you a choice. Will you let their disbelief define you, or will you use it as fuel to rise higher than ever before? The answer you choose will shape your destiny. History is filled with people whose greatest accomplishments were born out of doubt. Every innovator, trailblazer, every change maker faced voices of disbelief. The difference between them and the average person was not that they were free from doubt. It was that they refused to let doubt stop them. They embraced it, studied it, and allowed it to refine them. Doubt tested them, but they used it to become sharper, more precise, more strategic, and more relentless. Doubt is like pressure on a diamond. A diamond forms over time under heat and weight, and without pressure, it would remain just a piece of coal. Similarly, the doubt of others puts pressure on your vision. It forces you to clarify your purpose, refine your plans, and strengthen your skills. When people say, "You will fail," you are forced to ask yourself, "How will I succeed?" When they roll their eyes, you are pushed to prove that vision, strategy. Effort can overcome perception. Every doubting voice can be transformed into a tool for your personal sharpening. But this requires a mindset shift. Many people treat doubt as a weapon thrown at them, as if the world is conspiring against them. And yes, doubt can feel like an attack. It does not have to be fatal. Instead, consider doubt as a test of endurance, patience, and commitment. Every time someone questions your ability, it is an invitation to rise above, to strengthen your inner conviction, and to build an unshakable confidence that is impervious to opinion. Doubt from others is not a verdict. It is an exam, and your response to it determines whether you graduate into greatness. The sharpening process begins within. When someone doubts you, the first instinct is often to argue, to explain, to convince. But the wiser response is to examine your own mind, your own vision, your own work. Let doubt motivate you to improve. Let skepticism drive you to refine your craft. Let criticism push you to prepare better, work harder, focus deeper. Every doubt is a call to action, a reminder that you cannot coast on wishful thinking or passive hope. You must act. You must act with precision, persistence, and purpose. Sharpening through doubt is not just about proving others wrong. It is about proving to yourself what you are truly capable of. There is power in saying, "I will do this even when no one believes in me because I believe in myself." Doubt is the forge, your commitment is the hammer. Each challenge, each mocking comment, each moment of skepticism strikes against your resolve. And each strike, if embraced correctly, hammers your potential into a sharper, more powerful version of yourself. The process is rarely comfortable. Doubt will push you to your limits. It will expose weaknesses, highlight gaps, force you to confront the parts of yourself you may prefer to ignore. But growth rarely happens in comfort. Refinement often comes with friction. And the very friction caused by doubt is what produces excellence. Every great story is filled with moments of skepticism, rejection, disbelief, moments that tested the hero, harmed their character, and ultimately revealed their strength. Your life is no different. Remember, doubt from others can also teach discernment. It forces you to evaluate whose opinions truly matter, whose voices deserve attention, whose disbelief is irrelevant. When doubt is misused, it can paralyze. When doubt is understood, it becomes selective fuel. It separates the noise from the truth, allowing you to focus your energy on actions that matter, ideas that count, and progress that lasts. Not all doubt requires a response, but the right doubt can push you toward mastery, creativity, and breakthrough. Sharpening through doubt also builds resilience. The more you face disbelief, the more immune you become to discouragement. The more you persist in the face of skepticism, the more your confidence solidifies. Doubt becomes less of a threat and more of a challenge to conquer. In the process, you develop a mental toughness that is unmatched because it was forged in the fires of opposition, tested by uncertainty, and refined through experience. One of the most important truths to internalize is this: those who doubt you are not necessarily enemies, they are catalysts. Their disbelief can ignite a determination you might not have found otherwise. They voice every eye roll. Every skeptical glance is an opportunity to sharpen your focus, refine your strategy, and elevate your game. The world may not always celebrate your journey while you are in the trenches, but your results will speak louder than doubt ever could. So, when doubt comes, and it will come, do not fear it. Do not resist it. Do not let it discourage you. Instead, let it sharpen you. Let it strengthen your skills, clarify your vision, and deepen your resolve. Let it mold you into a version of yourself that is stronger, smarter, and more unstoppable than before. And one day, when you step into the life you were meant to live, you will look back and realize that the very doubt that once seemed like an obstacle was actually the tool that made you extraordinary. Doubt from others can cut, sting, and even wound, but it cannot kill your destiny unless you allow it to. It can confuse and delay, but it cannot define unless you let it. And when you learn to embrace doubt as a sharpening tool rather than a weapon, you rise with clarity, power, and unstoppable momentum. The world may doubt. You do not have to. Your destiny does not depend on approval. It depends on your commitment to rise, grow, and shine despite skepticism. In the end, doubt is not a wall. It is a whetstone. It is not a curse. It is a catalyst. It is not a stop sign. It is a challenge to sharpen yourself for the battles ahead. And when you embrace it, you discover that the voices of doubt are powerless against a soul determined to rise. The more you are doubted, the sharper you become. The harder they push, the stronger you get. The more they question, the clearer your vision. And one day, when they look at what you have accomplished, they will realize that their doubt did not defeat you. It defined you, shaped you, and made you unstoppable. There is a season in every life where you find yourself alone, not in the sense of loneliness, but in the sense of isolation. A place where the noise fades, the applause disappears, and the crowd of voices that once guided, distracted, or doubted you falls silent. In that quiet, you may feel invisible. You may wonder if your efforts matter. You may ask yourself if anyone sees the struggle, the late nights, the sacrifices. And yet, it is in this very isolation that your life is being prepared for its greatest moments. Isolation is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the sacred laboratory where destiny is quietly, deliberately, and powerfully formed. Too often, people fear isolation. They panic when they are not surrounded by affirmation or visible success. They mistake the absence of validation for failure, the absence of attention for insignificance. But history teaches us that isolation is often the precursor to greatness. Some of the most influential minds, the most accomplished leaders, and the most transformative individuals were forged in solitude. They did not become extraordinary because they were constantly cheered or constantly supported. They became extraordinary because they learned to thrive when no one was watching. Isolation tests your character. It strips away the distractions, the excuses, and the comfort of the crowd. When you are isolated, you cannot rely on momentum built from external sources. You must rely on discipline, on focus, on the inner fire that drives you. You are forced to confront yourself, to face your weaknesses, your doubts, and your fears, to wrestle with questions that cannot be answered by someone else. And it is in wrestling with these questions, in standing alone in the silence, your strength begins to grow. Preparation in isolation is often invisible. You may spend hours, months, or even years developing skills, learning lessons, building resilience without anyone noticing. These hidden seasons are the most important because they form the foundation upon which your future will stand. Just as a tree's roots grow deep underground long before it bears fruit, your preparation in isolation is what will allow you to stand tall, bear weight, flourish when the world finally notices. Do not despise the quiet days. They are where your greatness is nurtured. Isolation also sharpens focus. When the noise of opinions, expectations, and comparisons disappears, you are left with clarity. You are left with the raw materials of your vision and the space to cultivate it without interference. You learn to listen to your own voice, to follow your own intuition, and to trust your own judgment. In that silence, distractions fall away, and you gain the ability to concentrate on what truly matters, the work that will define your legacy. Moreover, isolation develops resilience. You are prepared in solitude. You are not dependent on constant affirmation to persevere. You learn to keep moving, keep building, and keep believing. Even when no one cheers, you develop a strength that cannot be shaken by setbacks, criticism, or opposition, because your foundation is internal, not external. You discover that your power does not come from others' encouragement. It comes from your commitment to show up, do the work, honor your purpose regardless of circumstances. Isolation also teaches patience. In a world that worships instant results, waiting is often mistaken for inactivity, but in reality, preparation requires time, repetition, and consistency. Isolation allows you to cultivate the patience necessary to perfect your craft, refine your strategy, and strengthen your character. You learn that growth cannot be rushed and that the seeds you plant in private will eventually bear fruit in public. When the moment arrives, you will be ready, not because it came quickly, but because it was carefully, deliberately prepared over time. The powerful aspect of isolation is self-reliance. In solitude, you learn that your progress depends on you, not on someone else's approval, guidance, or support. You cannot wait for the world to catch up to your vision. You must build it yourself. You must cultivate the habits, mindset, and discipline that will carry you forward. And in doing so, you discover an inner strength that no obstacle can overcome, no voice can diminish, no season can take away. Isolation trains you to become the master of your destiny. Isolation also creates space for innovation and creativity. Without the influence of constant external input, you are free to explore, experiment, and imagine. You can make mistakes without embarrassment, test new ideas without pressure, and refine your methods without judgment. Many breakthroughs, inventions, and innovations are born not in crowds, in quiet moments of focused reflection and experimentation. Your isolation is not empty. It is fertile ground for originality and brilliance. Finally, isolation prepares you for leadership. Leaders are often misunderstood, doubted, or even opposed. The ability to lead with courage, conviction, clarity comes from having been tested in solitude. When you have learned to make decisions, persevere, and grow without external support, you develop the confidence and wisdom necessary to guide others. Isolation equips you with perspective, patience, and inner authority, allowing you to lead from strength rather than from insecurity or dependence on validation. The key is to embrace isolation rather than resist it. Stop fearing the quiet seasons. Stop longing for constant affirmation. Stop measuring your worth by the attention of the crowd. Instead, recognize that this is a season of preparation, a sacred time when you are being equipped, strengthened, and refined. Every moment you spend alone, working, learning, praying, and growing is a moment invested in your destiny. When the world finally notices you, when your moment arrives, when doors open and opportunities appear, you will be ready. You will stand with strength built in solitude, clarity developed in silence, and resilience honed in isolation. What others may have doubted, dismissed, or ignored, you will have cultivated quietly, patiently, and faithfully. And your success will not just be a product of opportunity. It will be the result of deliberate preparation that no one else could see but you. So, if you find yourself alone, do not despair. Do not quit. Do not measure your worth by how many are watching. Isolation is not empty, it is preparation. It is the forge in which your skills, your character, and your vision are tempered. It is the quiet laboratory where your potential is transformed into power. It is the private training ground for the public victory that is coming. Embrace your isolation. Honor it. Commit to your growth within it. Learn from it. Stretch through it and allow it to strengthen every part of your being. And when the time comes to step into the light, you will shine not because the world prepared you, but because your isolation prepared you. Isolation is preparation. It is your secret weapon. And it is where your greatness begins. There is a truth that few people fully understand. Your purpose is personal. It does not belong to anyone else. It cannot be borrowed, copied, or measured against someone else's life. Your purpose is uniquely yours, a divine design, calling embedded deep within your soul that no one else can fulfill. And yet, so many people spend their lives trying to live out someone else's purpose, chasing approval, following trends, or conforming to the expectations of family, friends, or society. But when you live by someone else's blueprint, you miss the extraordinary calling that was created for you. Your purpose is personal. Discovering it requires courage, clarity, and conviction. First step in embracing your personal purpose is to recognize that no one else can define it for you. People will try. They will tell you what they think you should do, what is realistic, what is safe, what will earn their approval. Your calling does not live in their perspective. Your dreams are not shaped by their comfort. Your vision is not determined by their limits. You must separate the noise from your truth. Your purpose is personal. It resides in the depths of your heart, in the passions that stir your soul, in the gifts that flow naturally through your hands, and in the fire that burns within your spirit. Living your purpose requires a level of self-awareness that is rare. You must know who you are, what drives you, and what legacy you wish to leave. This is not discovered overnight. It is cultivated in moments of reflection, trial, and even failure. You must ask yourself hard questions. What am I here to do? What contribution can only I make? What would I pursue even if no one applauded me? The answers to these questions are clues to your personal purpose. And when you act on them, you begin to live authentically, fully, and powerfully. One of the most challenging aspects of a personal purpose is that it often requires walking a path that others cannot see, understand, or support. People may doubt you. They may criticize you. They may question your choices. But your calling is not contingent on their understanding. It is not validated by their approval. Your purpose is personal, and therefore it requires that you trust yourself, believe in your vision, move forward with unwavering commitment, even when no one else does. Your purpose is also a source of resilience. When life becomes difficult, when doors close, when setbacks come, it is the clarity of your personal purpose that keeps you moving. It is the compass that guides you through uncertainty, the anchor that holds you steady during storms, and the light that illuminates the path when the world seems dark. Purpose gives meaning to struggle and transforms obstacles into opportunities. It turns failure into lessons and criticism into fuel. And the more personal your purpose, the more power it has to sustain you through every challenge. Another important truth is that your purpose is not defined by material success, social status, or the opinions of others. Many people confuse recognition with purpose, believing that if others see it, it must be valid. But true purpose is internal, not external. It is about aligning your actions with your values, fulfilling the calling that is uniquely yours, and making the impact that only you can make. When you live your purpose personally, you are not swayed by trends, discouraged by doubt, or distracted by comparison. You are focused on the work, the journey, the impact you were meant to create. Living a personal purpose also requires courage, the courage to stand alone, to defy expectations, and to take risks that others cannot comprehend. It requires the bravery to trust your instincts, follow your passion, make decisions based on what is right for you, not what is convenient for others. Many people settle for safety because they fear judgment or failure. Living your purpose demands that you rise above fear. It asks you to embrace discomfort, to endure criticism, and to move forward with conviction, even when the path is uncertain. Your purpose is also deeply tied to service. While it is personal, it is never selfish. True purpose touches, lives beyond yourself. It inspires, empowers, and elevates others. When you live in alignment with your personal calling, you create ripples that impact families, communities, and even generations. Your purpose becomes a light that others can follow, a beacon of hope, and an example of what is possible when someone commits fully to the life they were meant to lead. Personal nature of purpose does not diminish its power. It magnifies it because it is authentic, passionate, and unwavering. The journey of personal purpose is also one of discovery. It is not static. It evolves as you grow, learn, and experience life. Each challenge, each success, each failure provides insight into who you are and what you were created to do. Your purpose may expand, shift, or deepen over time, but it always remains personal. It is yours to refine, develop, and pursue. And the more you engage with it honestly, the more clarity you gain, the more alignment you achieve, and the more impact you create. Comparison is the enemy of personal purpose. When you measure yourself against others, you risk losing sight of your own calling. You may feel inadequate, discouraged, or confused. But no one else's journey is your journey. No one else's timing is your timing. No one else's path is your path. Your purpose is personal, and it requires that you honor your own pace, your own story, and your own vision. By staying true to yourself, you cultivate authenticity, fulfillment, and lasting success. Finally, embracing your personal purpose requires relentless action. Knowing your purpose is not enough. You must live it. You must take steps every day that align with your vision, even when progress feels slow, even when the world doubts you, and even when results are not immediate. Consistent action fueled by belief in your personal calling transforms potential into reality. It turns vision into impact, and it ensures that your unique gifts are not wasted but fully realized. Your purpose is personal. It is your calling, your mission, your reason for being. It does not require approval, validation, or understanding from anyone else. It demands faith, courage, and persistence. It gives meaning to struggle, direction to effort, and clarity to decisions. And when you embrace it fully, you not only transform your life, you transform the lives of everyone you touch. Stop measuring your worth by the expectations of others. Stop seeking approval that is never guaranteed. Stop living by standards that were never meant for you. Your purpose is personal. It is unique. It is powerful. It is your responsibility to discover it, honor it, and live it. Step boldly into the calling that only you can fulfill, and watch as the world begins to align with the destiny you were born to pursue. There will come times in your life when no one applauds your effort, no one notices your progress, and no one recognizes the sacrifices you are making. You may feel invisible, unappreciated, or overlooked, and in those moments it is easy to stop, to question yourself, to doubt whether the path is worth walking. Here is the truth. You must move forward even without validation. Progress does not depend on approval. Growth does not wait for recognition. Success does not require applause. Your journey is yours, and your forward movement is essential, whether anyone is watching or not. Validation is a powerful motivator, but it is also fleeting, inconsistent, and unreliable. People will cheer one day and criticize the next. Circumstances may favor you temporarily, then turn against you without warning. If you rely solely on external validation to measure your worth or to fuel your actions, you will find yourself trapped in a cycle of disappointment and frustration. The only sustainable source of motivation is internal. your belief in your purpose, your trust in your vision, and your commitment to your goals. Moving forward without validation requires courage. It demands that you act even when the world seems indifferent. It demands that you work even when no one is watching. It demands that you persevere even when the results are not immediately visible. Courage is not the absence of fear or doubt. It is the willingness to take action in spite of them. When you choose to move forward without validation, you are practicing a courage that will carry you through every challenge, obstacle, and setback on your path to greatness. One of the most important things to understand is that the opinions of others are not a measure of your potential. People may underestimate you, dismiss your ideas, or fail to see your vision. And that is not a reflection of your ability. It is a reflection of their perspective, their limitations, and their understanding. Your value is inherent, and your destiny is preordained. You do not need external approval to step into the calling that is yours. Moving forward without validation is about trusting that your efforts matter, even if the world has not yet caught up to your vision. History is filled with individuals who achieved greatness despite lacking recognition in the early stages of their journey. Inventors, leaders, artists, and visionaries often faced years of obscurity, criticism, and rejection. They moved forward not because anyone validated their efforts, because they believed in the vision that burned within them. Their consistency, their discipline, and their unwavering commitment eventually produced results so undeniable that the world could no longer ignore them. Their forward motion, fueled by internal conviction rather than external validation, became the catalyst for extraordinary achievement. Moving forward without validation also builds resilience. Life is full of moments when praise is absent, when encouragement is rare, and when recognition is delayed. If you wait for approval to take action, you will stagnate. If you pause for acknowledgement before pursuing your goals, you will be left behind. But when you learn to rely on your own drive, your own standards, and your own understanding of purpose, you cultivate an inner strength that cannot be shaken. Resilience is born in these unseen hours, in the quiet persistence, and in the daily choice to advance despite the lack of applause. Another crucial element is focus. Moving forward without validation forces you to concentrate on what truly matters. You learn to prioritize your vision over the noise of judgment. You learn to value progress over perception. You begin to see that your energy is too precious to be spent seeking approval from those who may never understand your journey. Instead, you channel your efforts into building, creating, and growing, knowing that the results will eventually speak for themselves. Validation is temporary. Focus is enduring. Faith becomes a cornerstone when you move forward without validation. You must believe in yourself, trust your process, commit to your vision even when it is invisible to others. Faith is not blind optimism. It is an informed, determined trust in your potential and your purpose. It is the conviction that your work has value, your struggle has meaning, and your path is leading you exactly where you are meant to go. When validation is absent, faith becomes your compass, guiding you through uncertainty and keeping your momentum alive. Consistency is another key factor. The world may not notice your progress. Your efforts compound over time. Small, deliberate actions taken consistently, even without recognition, lead to monumental results. Every step forward, every hour of work, every challenge overcome in the absence of validation strengthens your ability to endure and succeed. Moving forward without validation is about honoring the process, trusting that your dedication will eventually manifest in results that cannot be ignored. It is also important to recognize that external validation is fleeting. Praise can fade, attention can shift, and public approval can vanish overnight. When you tie your forward movement to someone else's recognition, you make your progress conditional, fragile, and dependent on forces beyond your control. When you move forward without validation, you anchor your growth in something permanent, your purpose, your vision, and your commitment to excellence. This internal foundation ensures that your progress is resilient, sustainable, and unstoppable. Moving forward without validation also cultivates independence. You learn to trust your own judgment, rely on your own insight, and take responsibility for your outcomes. You no longer live in constant comparison, seeking validation from peers, mentors, or society. Instead, you develop an internal compass that guides your decisions, directs your efforts, measures your success by standards that truly matter. Independence is not isolation. It is empowerment. It allows you to act with confidence, clarity, and authority even when the world is silent. Finally, moving forward without validation is a test of character. Separates those who are motivated by external applause from those who are driven by internal conviction. It teaches discipline, perseverance, patience, and resilience. It shapes a mindset that cannot be derailed by criticism, doubt, or delay. It ultimately prepares you to achieve a level of success that is authentic, lasting, deeply meaningful, because it is built not on the opinions of others, but on the unwavering commitment to your own vision and purpose. So, when the world does not cheer, when no one notices, when recognition is absent, do not stop. Do not question your worth. Do not delay your progress. Move forward anyway. Book anyway. Dream anyway. Because your purpose, your destiny, and your impact do not require validation. They require action. Every step you take without applause is a step closer to the life you were meant to live. Every effort made in silence strengthens your character, sharpens your skills, and prepares you for the breakthrough that is coming. Remember, the greatest achievements in history were often accomplished in obscurity, without validation, and in the face of doubt. Moving forward without validation is not easy, but it is necessary. It is the hallmark of resilience, practice of faith, and the path to extraordinary success. Your journey is not defined by others. It is defined by your commitment to act, to grow, to rise regardless of recognition. Move forward even without validation. Step boldly into the work that only you can do. Trust your process, believe in your vision, and honor your purpose. And one day, the results of your unwavering effort will speak louder than any applause ever could. There is a power in vision that most people underestimate. Vision is more than a dream. It is the blueprint of your destiny, the compass that guides your actions, and the anchor that holds you steady when life storms rage. But vision is fragile. It can be distracted by doubt, threatened by fear, or weakened by criticism. That is why it is essential to stay rooted in your vision, deeply, unshakably, and unwaveringly. When you remain rooted, your vision does not sway with every challenge, fluctuate with every opinion, or wither in the absence of immediate results. Becomes a force that shapes your life, guides your choices, and carries you forward no matter the circumstances. Staying rooted in your vision begins with clarity. You cannot hold fast to something you cannot clearly see. Your vision must be vivid, detailed, and compelling. It must be a picture of the future that ignites your heart and fuels your determination. If your vision is vague, it is easy to be swayed by the voices around you. If it is unclear, you will stumble at every obstacle. But when your vision is clear, you have a point of reference to return to when the world tries to pull you off course. Clarity roots your vision in your mind and heart, making it resilient against distraction and doubt. Vision also requires belief. Staying rooted is not just about seeing the end result. It is about believing in it, even when no one else does. Many people abandon their purpose because they rely on external validation to sustain them. They need someone to cheer, encourage, affirm them before they take another step. But vision that is rooted in belief does not need approval. It does not falter in silence. It does not depend on applause. Belief in your vision is the anchor that holds you steady when storms hit, criticism comes, or obstacles seem insurmountable. Without belief, vision is merely wishful thinking. With belief, vision becomes unstoppable. Staying rooted in your vision also demands discipline. Path to greatness is rarely straight, easy, or quick. There will be days when you feel weary, moments when you question your progress, and seasons when nothing seems to move. In those moments, discipline keeps you grounded. It reminds you to keep showing up, keep working, and keep investing in what matters. Discipline is the bridge between vision and reality. The daily choices, consistent effort, unwavering focus that transform dreams into tangible results. Without discipline, vision drifts. With discipline, it grows stronger with every step. Another reason staying rooted in your vision is essential is that life will challenge you with distractions. Opportunities may appear that seem attractive, but are misaligned with your purpose. People may advise you to settle for less, to take the easier path, or to conform to expectations that are not yours. The world is full of noise that can pull you off course. But when your vision is deeply rooted, it acts like a tree planted by a river, drawing strength from its foundation and standing firm regardless of the winds that blow. It allows you to recognize what aligns with your purpose and what is merely a detour, and it gives you the courage to stay the course even when the path is lonely. Rooted vision also provides resilience. Challenges will come. Rejection, failure, and setbacks are inevitable. But if your vision is deeply rooted, these challenges cannot uproot you. They may bend you, test you, and push you to your limits, but they cannot make you give up. A rooted vision provides perspective. It reminds you that temporary obstacles do not define your journey, that temporary struggles are part of the process, and that every setback is an opportunity to grow, learn, and become stronger. Resilience comes not from avoiding difficulties, but from staying rooted in your vision despite them. Staying rooted in your vision requires patience. Vision is not fulfilled overnight. Dreams take time, effort, and persistence to materialize. In the early stages, it may feel as if nothing is happening, as if your work is invisible, and as if the world is indifferent to your efforts. But rooted vision teaches you to trust the process, to honor the daily work, to remain faithful to the steps that build momentum over time. Patience allows you to endure the long nights, the slow progress, and the unseen labor, knowing that the harvest will come in due season. Vision also inspires action. Staying rooted is not passive. It drives consistent, purposeful movement. When your vision is clear and deep, every choice, every decision, and every action aligns with it. You no longer drift aimlessly or act impulsively. Instead, you move with intention, letting your vision guide you like a compass that points true north. Rooted vision gives your life direction, focus, and meaning. It ensures that every effort you invest compounds toward a greater purpose rather than being scattered or wasted. Moreover, rooted vision protects you from doubt and discouragement. There will always be people who question your ability, criticize your approach, or belittle your dreams. There will always be voices that say, "You can't, it's impossible," or "Why bother?" But vision that is deeply rooted is impervious to external judgment. It provides a source of internal validation, reminding you that your journey is about fulfilling your purpose, not appeasing critics. When you stay rooted, you do not need everyone to believe in you. The only belief that matters is your own. Finally, staying rooted in your vision allows you to inspire others. When people see someone unwavering in their purpose, persistent in their efforts, and faithful to their vision despite challenges, it ignites hope and courage in them. Rooted vision becomes contagious. It demonstrates that greatness is not dependent on conditions, validation, circumstances, but on commitment, focus, and faith. By staying rooted in your vision, you not only move closer to your destiny, you create a legacy that empowers, motivates, and inspires those around you. So, no matter what storms come, no matter what distractions arise, no matter how long it takes for results to appear, stay rooted in your vision. Protect it, nurture it, and act on it daily. Let it guide your decisions, inspire your actions, and strengthen your resolutions. Stand firm when the winds of doubt blow. Bend, but do not break under pressure. Remain anchored in the calling that was given to you. Rooted vision is unshakable, unstoppable, and transformative. It is the foundation upon which greatness is built. Stay rooted in your vision. Guard it fiercely. Pursue it relentlessly. And let it be the light that guides you through every season. Your vision is your compass, your anchor, and your power. Let it define your journey, shape your decisions, and carry you boldly into the life you were destined to live. Rejection is one of the most painful experiences we face in life. It can sting, wound our pride, and make us question our worth. It comes in many forms. Being denied a job, overlooked for promotion, ignored in relationships, dismissed when you share your vision. Rejection feels personal, like the world has spoken directly against you. But here is the truth. Rejection is not the end of your story. Rejection is not a verdict on your potential. It is a signal, a lesson, and most importantly, fuel to propel you forward. When embraced correctly, rejection becomes motivation. a catalyst for growth, determination, and extraordinary success. First step in turning rejection into motivation is perspective. Many people respond to rejection with despair, self-doubt, or bitterness. They allow a single no to define their worth, to halt their progress, and to shape their identity. Rejection is not a reflection of your ability. It is often a reflection of timing, circumstance, or perception. Right opportunity may not have been ready, or the person evaluating you may not have been able to see your potential. Understanding this allows you to detach your value from the rejection and see it as a signal to rise, improve, and persist. Rejection is a teacher. No, holds a lesson if you are willing to learn. It exposes weaknesses, highlights areas for growth, and challenges you to refine your approach. Perhaps your skills need sharpening, your strategy requires adjustment, or your mindset needs strengthening. Rejection forces you to confront these truths, not as punishment, but as preparation. Every great achiever in history faced rejection repeatedly. Yet they treated it as a guiding post rather than a roadblock. They asked, what can I learn, instead of why me? And in doing so, they transformed rejection into a powerful tool for improvement. Motivation born from rejection is relentless because it comes from a deep place within. When someone doubts you, overlooks you, or tells you that you cannot, fire ignited in response cannot be extinguished by further obstacles. Rejection reveals a hunger within you to prove, not to them, but to yourself, that your dreams are possible. It challenges you to rise beyond the limitations others try to impose and to cultivate a determination that is fueled by defiance, courage, and faith. Motivation from rejection is not fleeting. It is forged in the crucible of adversity and hardened by persistence. Turning rejection into motivation also requires emotional mastery. Pain, hurt, and disappointment are natural responses. They must be processed and redirected. You cannot let rejection fester into bitterness, resentment, or self-sabotage. Instead, you must channel the energy of the pain into productive action. Let it sharpen your focus, intensify your effort, and clarify your purpose. Stronger your emotional control, the more powerfully you can convert rejection into fuel for success. Those who cannot manage their emotions allow rejection to derail them. Who can use rejection as a springboard launch themselves to heights they never imagined. Rejection also strengthens resilience. Life is full of setbacks, and the ability to endure, recover, and keep moving is essential for success. Each time you face rejection and refuse to quit, you build resilience. Each time you take the no and transform it into determination, you grow tougher, wiser, and more prepared for future challenges. Resilience is not developed in moments of ease. It is forged in the pressure of adversity. Rejection provides that pressure, and when you embrace it, you emerge stronger, more focused, and more capable than before. Another key element is perspective on timing. Often, rejection occurs because the timing is not right. Opportunities come too early or too late. Circumstances may not be aligned. People may not be ready to see your value. This is not a judgment against you. It is simply life preparing the right moment. Rejection teaches patience. Patience, when combined with motivation, produces precision. You learn to wait, to grow, to continue moving forward until the circumstances align perfectly with your vision. Every rejection may be a redirection to something greater. Rejection also fuels creativity and innovation. When doors close, you are forced to explore new avenues, develop fresh ideas, and approach problems differently. Limitations and obstacles push your mind to expand, innovate, and adapt. Many of the world's greatest achievements were born after repeated rejection because the individual refused to settle, refused to accept no as final. Instead, used it to rethink, improve, and create new possibilities. Rejection is a nudge from the universe to think bigger, bolder, and smarter. It is essential to remember that rejection is universal. Every successful person, every leader, every innovator has faced it. The difference is not the presence of rejection. It is how it is used. Some allow it to paralyze them. Others allow it to define them. But those who transform rejection into motivation rise above, persist through adversity, and achieve greatness. The key is action. Every no pushes you to do more, prepare better, and step boldly into the opportunities that await. Rejection also teaches humility and self-reflection. It forces you to examine your approach, your efforts, and your mindset. It is an opportunity to grow not only in skill, but in character. When you respond to rejection with reflection and resolve, you become wiser, more patient, and more capable of navigating challenges. Motivation derived from rejection is both inward and outward. It drives personal growth as much as it drives external achievement. Finally, turning rejection into motivation is about perspective on legacy. Your life's impact will not be defined by how many people immediately recognize your potential. It will be defined by your commitment to rise, persevere, and achieve despite the setbacks. Every rejection you face, every door that closes, and every opportunity lost is a chance to build character, sharpen your focus, and refine your purpose. By converting rejection into motivation, you ensure that your story is not written by the doubts of others, but by the courage, determination, and resilience that define you. So when rejection comes, and it will come, do not retreat, do not despair, and do not allow it to diminish your spirit. Use it as fuel. Let it ignite a fire within you that burns brighter than the doubt surrounding you. Let it sharpen your resolve, strengthen your skills, and deepen your commitment to your vision. Turn every no into a reason to push harder, to work longer, and to rise higher. Rejection is not an endpoint. It is a starting line, a motivator, and a teacher. Remember, rejection is not a reflection of your worth, a reflection of life preparing you for something greater. The greatest achievers were rejected, overlooked, dismissed countless times before they broke through. They turned each setback into fuel, each doubt into determination, each closed door into an opportunity to build something stronger. Your journey is no different. Embrace rejection, learn from it, let it propel you toward the extraordinary life that is waiting. Turn rejection into motivation. Let it sharpen you, inspire you, and drive you forward. Use it as the spark that ignites your resilience, the fuel that powers your persistence, and the catalyst that transforms challenges into triumphs. When you do, no rejection will ever hold you back, no obstacle will ever defeat you, and no opinion will ever define your destiny. There is a power in belief that surpasses all external forces. It is invisible, unmeasurable, and yet it determines the trajectory of every life. Belief in yourself is not casual. It must be fierce, unwavering, and unshakable. It is the fuel that drives action, the anchor that steadies you in storms, the compass that guides you when the path seems uncertain. Without belief, talent remains dormant, vision remains unrealized, and potential remains untapped. To achieve anything extraordinary, you must believe in yourself fiercely, beyond circumstances, beyond doubt, beyond the opinions of others. Fierce self-belief begins with acknowledgement. You must recognize your worth, your capabilities, and the unique gifts that you bring into the world. Person has talents, skills, and strengths that are theirs alone. Acknowledging them is not arrogance, it is clarity. It is understanding that the spark inside you is real and it has the power to ignite progress, create opportunities, and inspire impact. When you believe in yourself fiercely, you refuse to let anyone dim the light that lives within you. Belief in yourself is tested by challenges. Life will present obstacles that shake your confidence, people who doubt your potential, and circumstances that seem impossible to overcome. Fierce belief is not passive. It persists despite adversity. It refuses to let fear dictate decisions. It refuses to let rejection define worth. It refuses to be swayed by uncertainty or criticism. Fierce belief is active. It is choosing to move forward, to act, and to rise even when conditions appear stacked against you. It is the unyielding declaration that you are capable of more than the world has seen or expected. Fierce self-belief requires courage. It is easy to believe when others affirm you, when success is immediate, or when circumstances favor you. True belief shines brightest in the darkness. It manifests when you face rejection, criticism, or isolation. Courageous belief is choosing to trust yourself even when no one else does and continuing to pursue your purpose with unwavering resolve. It is the difference between stagnation and growth, between settling for mediocrity and achieving extraordinary impact. Belief in yourself fiercely is rooted in discipline. It is not simply thinking positively or repeating affirmations. It is acting in alignment with that belief every single day. Fierce belief compels you to prepare, to practice, to improve, and to take consistent steps towards your vision. It transforms hope into action, desire into execution, and potential into achievement. Without discipline, belief remains abstract. With discipline, belief becomes unstoppable momentum. Another critical element is the understanding that self-belief is not dependent on others. People will doubt you, question your choices, underestimate your abilities. Circumstances may seem unfair or obstacles insurmountable, but belief in yourself fiercely means that your confidence is internal. It comes from knowing your worth, trusting your preparation, and committing to your purpose. When your belief is internalized, it cannot be shaken by external forces. It becomes an unbreakable foundation upon which your dreams are built. Fierce self-belief also empowers risk-taking. To achieve greatness, you must step outside your comfort zone, confront fear, and challenge limitations. Without belief, fear dominates, hesitation prevails, potential remains locked away. But when you believe in yourself fiercely, you move forward despite fear. You embrace uncertainty with confidence. You take bold action, knowing that your abilities, preparation, and resilience will carry you through. Belief transforms hesitation into courage, inaction into movement, and doubt into determination. Self-belief is strengthened by reflection and awareness. Fierce belief does not mean ignoring weaknesses or denying challenges. It means acknowledging them while remaining confident in your capacity to grow. It means assessing setbacks, learning from mistakes, and adapting strategies without losing faith in your ability. By combining reflection with belief, you ensure that your confidence is not blind but informed, powerful, and resilient. True belief is both bold and wise. Belief in yourself fiercely is contagious. When you act with confidence, clarity, and conviction, you inspire those around you. Others begin to see the possibility of what can be achieved. Your belief becomes a beacon attracting support, collaboration, and opportunities. People are drawn to those who demonstrate unwavering self-confidence because they recognize that someone who believes in themselves can accomplish extraordinary things. Fierce belief not only propels you, it elevates everyone in your orbit. Fierce self-belief also protects you from comparison. In a world obsessed with measuring success against others, it is easy to feel inadequate or discouraged. But belief in yourself fiercely anchors you. It reminds you that your journey is unique, your gifts are distinct, and your path cannot be measured by someone else's standards. Fierce belief allows you to focus on your growth, your potential, and your purpose without distraction or envy. It cultivates independence, clarity, unwavering focus. Moreover, belief in yourself fiercely fosters perseverance. Every journey toward greatness involves setbacks, criticism, and moments of doubt. Without belief, these challenges can derail you. With fierce belief, they become opportunities for growth and proof of your resilience. You keep moving, keep striving, and keep building momentum, knowing that your abilities, vision, and determination are stronger than temporary obstacles. Perseverance is fueled by belief. It is the engine that converts determination into accomplishment. Finally, fierce self-belief is transformative. Changes how you approach life, challenges, and opportunity. It transforms fear into courage, doubt into action, and dreams into reality. It shapes decisions, priorities, and interactions, guiding you toward alignment with your purpose and the impact you are destined to make. Belief is not simply a feeling, it is a practice, a commitment, and a lifestyle. It is the foundation for extraordinary living, unshakable confidence, unstoppable momentum. So no matter the challenges you face, the critics who doubt you, or the obstacles that block your path, believe in yourself fiercely. Stand firm in your conviction, trust your abilities, commit to your purpose, act boldly even when the outcome is uncertain. Let your belief be louder than fear, stronger than doubt, and more persistent than any opposition. Your vision, your potential, and your destiny are waiting for you, but they require one thing above all: fierce belief in yourself. Believe in yourself fiercely. Protect it, nurture it, and act on it every day. Let it drive your decisions, shape your actions, and propel you toward the extraordinary life you were created to live. No one else can give it to you. no circumstance can diminish it. Fierce self-belief is your power, your shield, and your compass. Harness it, and there is nothing you cannot achieve.